this week, Donald Trump got a visit from the new leader of the free world, Angela Merkel. Because I don't know if Donald Trump's the leader of the free world. I think Angela Merkel might be the leader of the free world.
I'm fine with that, to be honest. Which is weird.
I think I'm an American exceptionalist, so I have some problems with that. But I don't blame Angela Merkel. I blame Donald Trump and the Americans that voted for him. That's why we're no longer the leader of the free world.
At least someone's leading the free world that's not Donald Trump.
So in the Trump-Merkel press conference that happened earlier, because there were several, was disturbing on several levels. Worst of all was the scene of the German Chancellor listening to an American president boast about how strong his military is and how much stronger it will be soon. And not that long ago, in the historical terms, Germany was a country that stressed military dominance. This is all in the press conference, people. I kid you not. The two lost worlds was, the two lost wars cured Germany from its militarism. America's militarism has taken its place. Trump went on to talk about how both him and the one thing that the two have in common is that they're both wiretapped.
Yeah.
And then after all of that, after the press conference was done, then our fearless leader, Donald J. Trump, took to Twitter and said that Germany...
Wait. You're missing a crucial part, because before he took to Twitter, you have to remember that while they were both sitting in this scene right here, it basically looked exactly like this. They were posing for a photo op.
This is actually the scene.
This is happening. The photographers and reporters asked for a shot where they were shaking hands. And Donald Trump, basically like a child, pretended to act like he didn't hear them. At one point, Germany's prime minister actually said they want us to shake hands, and he pretended to not hear her and just looked at the ground. That is disturbing.
He didn't want to shake hands with the leader of the free world.
I mean, it's not like we're not allies with Germany.
No, we're not. I mean, according to Donald, he says via Twitter that Germany doesn't pay, that they need to pay their fair share of NATO dues.
Oh my God.
But here, this is crazy. The ideal of these foreign meetings, right, is when, even when leaders hate each other, they act like they like each other. They come together and they can agree on certain things. And they're like, look at this great, German-American relationship.
Well, this is crazy, because this is Germany and America. You've seen President Barack Obama engage in some pretty contentious State Department-sponsored events where he is with, leaders that our priorities are actively moving in different directions.
Yeah, like him and Putin.
This should be an easy one for Donald Trump.
It doesn't work well for us when our president says America is very, very strong. He said a very powerful country.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And soon the military would be stronger, and perhaps far stronger than ever before. These are quotes from this guy.
Now, what is Donald Trump's obsession with the military? We know that America spends more money on our military than the next 20 countries down the line.
He thinks that's how they make America great again.
It's unnecessary. We are not ramping up for any kind of military conflict unless we stupidly enter.
Start one.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Now, it's very important that we have good, let's not talk about Germany's past, but it's very important that we have good relations with Germany now.
Sure.
Because they're sort of the leading figure in the European Union, and beyond that, they're part of one would argue the leading economies, right? So we need to work with them, and in order for Donald Trump to make sure that we get these quote unquote fair trade deals,
right,
Germany and Japan are going to be integral to making that a reality.
Yeah, and I want to make an important point that I found very interesting and very telling. So a lot of people don't know this, but President Barack Obama's last call he made as President of the United States was to Angela Merkel. It was his final act. And in a lot of ways, you see that as Obama passing the baton and saying, listen, for the next 4 years, like it or not, you might have to lead.
You're the leader of the free world, Angela.
And that's a sad thing to say as an American. But regardless of the fact, I would be psyched if she was the president of America. If she was an American, she grew up here, her reputation speaks for itself.
Well, here's the other thing.
She's a good leader.
So, Donald Trump, he's a good businessman. He went to University of Penn. She's some sort of astrochemist.
Yeah, she's a genius.
She's she's a definition of theoretical genius.
Well, and she's been reelected multiple times. She's she's widely liked. I mean, she's someone who's managed to get things done, have her people like her, and, not run the country into the ground.
Yeah, and I mean, and I think what makes it so crazy is that I wish, like, I'm not going to say that because I think people make that argument. I think it's silly when people are like, oh, Donald Trump's Hitler. You're not going to hear that from me, right? But I can imagine Angela Merkel sitting there listening to what he's saying, and if you look at some of the quotes from Lebensdorf or Living Space, which is Hitler's first book, his only book, they're very similar. We're going to make our military so strong.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to be far. We're going to be like the same things. I'm not saying Donald Trump's Hitler. I'm saying some of these quotes.
Ramping up your military is. And
I'm putting myself in Angela's sort of like shoes, if I could, her Manolos, right? Like, what does she think? Is like, oh Lord.
Yeah, I mean, and you put yourself in a situation where, like, for a lot of people, you look down on Germany for, saying, like, how did the country possibly end up in a situation where you have, a leader like Adolf Hitler? And
you realize that we're not that far away from that.
And then it's like, maybe we were just behind. And we've actually been heading in that direction just slower than Germany.
And I think what makes it even crazier, and this is just one example, but we also saw this week during the terrorist attack in London where, like, his Donald Trump Jr., his son, tweets and is like, yeah, London's weak. Because they had, helpful. And like that doesn't help either, because what happened in front of the parliament was the same that happened at San Bernardino. It wasn't because President Obama wasn't a strong president that what happened in San Bernardino happened. It was because people radicalized on the damn internet.
Yeah.
Right, and you can't blame a president. You can't even blame our intelligence community for missing it, because, like, are they watching everybody's individual keystrokes? There comes this balance where you have the right to privacy and government surveillance. And so you can't have your cake and eat it too. And so I really think that, and I'm not going to criticize his son. I'm criticizing the son's tweet, because I found that tweet to be very problematic. And I think, there's probably an iteration of what his father believes, because I don't care. You put any Muslim ban you want to put in place. The sad part is the reality is it's very likely there could be another terrorist attack right here in the United States, but not from somebody who had a visa. It could be from an American-born individual who radicalized on the internet.
I mean, not to mention, listen, like, if you want to be serious about saving American lives, the people that are killing American citizens are American citizens that are homegrown terrorists that are not related to radical Islam.
Exactly, like white supremacists like Dylan Ruth, who killed 9. Or Adam Lanza, who killed 42 in Newtown, or the shooter from Tucson, Arizona, that shot Gabby Giffords, and I can go on and on. There's a long list of these individuals, right?